Whether you're watching your favorite NBA team at the arena, the bar, or hanging at home, grab an ice-cold Michelob Ultra and enjoy every moment of the NBA season. Stock up today and watch your team drop buckets with a bucket full of ice-cold Ultra. Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2026 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra. Registered light beer. St. Louis, Missouri. Must be 21 plus to order alcohol. Alcohol available only in select markets.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Study
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
the best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Welcome to the
last
Uptown Parlay Podcast. I'm your host, Ace, and we got LaVon tonight on the line with us. What's going on, man?
What's up, everybody? I'm subbing in. Last minute emergency call-ups from the minors.
That's correct.
Back in effect. Am I in the spot? I'm in the spot.
Yes, he is subbing in for Malik, who's off in soccer duty.
Soccer dad duty.
Yeah. As we are both absconding from our children to record this right now for you lovely people out there to give you some insight.
Hiding in the dark from my kids before they come down and need something from them. Or the wife. Let's not forget about the wife.
That's true. I think both of them are sleeping right now, or hopefully they will be. But we're going to break down this final series between the Knicks and the Spurs. And LaVon was just saying that the fact that the Knicks haven't lost in over 35 days is kind of making him nervous.
Very much. Yeah.
Why is that?
It's the law of averages, sir. You follow sports long enough, nobody goes undefeated. Patriots know all about that. But to think that the Knicks are going to close out the year on a 15-game winning streak would be historic, would be awesome. But I'm thinking they're going to catch an L at some point. I'm just hoping they catch 3 and not 4.
So how many games? So how this matchup goes so far? How do you see it in whose favor?
Well, before it was official, like most Knicks fans, I wanted the Spurs over the Thunder. I figured that they posed the least threatening, opposition when it comes to stopping us from capturing that title. But as I watch this team play, and I like the Spurs, which also scares me. Usually I have a healthy hatred for whoever the Knicks are going up against. But as I watched the Spurs throughout the whole playoffs, and I watched them real closely during that Western Conference Finals, I mean, you can't help but like the team, unless you're a Thunder fan or a fan of the team they beat to get there. But, I mean, they're a young team. They're physical. They scrap. They play together. They do have a star in Wembanyama, but he's not egotistical. He's not a hog the ball type of dude. His teammates love him. They all play hard for him. And, I was thinking when I was listening to the media, the media availability, the media day for all of both teams, and all of the players got to speak and answer questions. And what is giving me a little bit, and it's really, really making me nervous, but it's giving me Dallas Cowboy vibes. The first time the Cowboys got to the Super Bowl against the Bills, and they were the young team that just got there, and everybody was like, they don't have the experience, they're really good, but they're young and not tested, and Buffalo was,
Oh,
What?
Buffalo had lost 2 times by then.
Yeah, Buffalo was more experienced. They had all of the experienced players. They were just as good. And it gave me really scary vibes because everybody kept asking the San Antonio players the same questions. You guys are so young, and the Harper kid is a rookie and he's only 20 years old, and it's a moment too big for you guys. And what did the Cowboys do? They just came out and just destroyed Buffalo in that freaking in that Super Bowl game. So I'm a
Yeah.
little worried
But
about that because it's like right now the Knicks look like they should be the better team. They're hot, sizzling hot, haven't lost, like you said, in 23 days, and
30.
they're through 30 days. They're deep. They match up well against the Spurs. The Spurs don't really shoot the ball that well. They really don't. The Knicks shoot the ball way better than the Spurs do on a consistent basis. We have answers for Wembanyama. They don't really have answers for the advantages we pose to them. They could throw some bodies at Jalen Brunson, but they don't really have anybody to stop Cat, especially if they
They do
plan on
not.
putting especially if they plan on putting Wembanyama. What do? They put like the big man on Josh because Josh allows him to roam.
You
So
saw
who are they
that,
going to
yes. He
put?
wants to basically be able to guard the rim because if he has to stay with Cat,
Exactly.
then it pulls him
Correct.
away from the basket, and anything that pulls him away
Yeah.
from the basket allows teams to score easier.
Teams to go
But the
get to the rim.
difference
So
between the Knicks and Oklahoma City, well, I'll get into this, but finish what you were saying.
no, I didn't want to go too long, but yeah, I mean all of that stuff. It could go on and on, but yeah, I mean, it worries me until the game starts tomorrow, I guess. And then, the first shots go up and then everybody settles in and there's no more prognosticating and hyperbole, but it's just like game time. But what were you going to say?
Basically, because the Knicks have taken the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands and not let him dribble the ball into the ground, it's actually made them much more difficult to guard on offense, which is how they kept getting open threes against Cleveland. Because even if you take the ball out of his hands, we have 3 other people who can bring the ball up. The only person who's really not bringing the ball up is Josh Hart.
Oh, no, Josh is one of the main people. I thought you were going to say Cat. Josh brings the ball up all the time.
Cat's been bringing the ball up. Cat's been rebounding it and actually bringing it up, or kicking it over to OG and having OG bring it up, or having Michael McAlbridges bring it up.
Yeah.
So,
but Josh brings it up a lot. He
occasionally.
helps get it occasionally. Yeah.
But because of that, it makes it much harder for them to guard them as a team because now the main guy that you're trying to deny the ball from, he is running off of screens. So now it's created a Steph Curry kind of offense where you have to worry about where he is at all times. And if you're worried about where he is at all times, and it pulls the defense to him away from the basket, which then opens up everybody else.
Yeah.
It is the offense that the Warriors won with. And it's kind of impossible to defend, even though you have that alien out there who can, cover 5 feet around the basket in every direction or 8 feet around the basket in every direction. So as long as the Knicks can keep making him run around as much as possible, increases their chances to do that. And I get that they're young, but, they've played a lot of games too.
Yeah.
They've played more games than the Knicks. And I'm glad that series went 7 games, as every other Knicks fan was, because it gives them an opportunity to not wear down and rest up, as they're the older team, the more experienced team. And everyone has said, who is an NBA person, experience matters. And I do believe that is true.
It's true.
Because at a certain point, Keldon Johnson is going to go ice cold again, and the Knicks aren't. And as long as they can maintain their shooting from 3, I really don't see how the Spurs can beat them. And the fact that the Knicks beat them for the NBA Cup gives me more confidence that their guards will be able to beat their guards. And Mitchell Robinson had surgery on his finger to even get into that. So my man is ready to sacrifice for the team to, I guess, catch lobs and guard Wemby with a broken pinky finger. Or, I don't know, shot up with whatever kind of Novocaine or whatever painkiller they give you in the NBA so that you don't feel nothing in your hand, to have you go out there and execute and do what you need to do and block some shots and catch some lobs and just basically be physical with him to keep him off the ball. Because the one thing he can do is bully people. And the one thing we've seen with Victor is he's susceptible to getting pushed around.
He's still super, super light. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, he's easily pushed around. This is true. I mean, all of that's true, man. But the Spurs are going to be the best defense the Knicks have faced in the entire playoffs. Sixers played none. The Cavs also didn't play any. There's no James Harden on the Spurs that Jalen Brunson can just seek out and carve up. That team can pretty much
There is,
defend.
though. His name is De'Aaron Fox. He should be better at defense, but he's not.
De'Aaron Fox is older now and his ankle's hurt, but De'Aaron Fox, if you go back to when
He's
we
younger
played
than
him this
Brunson, I
season,
think.
I don't think he's younger than Brunson. I mean, I'd have to check. When I say older, he's a vet, and his body has been through the NBA ringer. So that's what I mean. And he's got the ankles, whatever. He's got braces on both of them. But De'Aaron Fox was known for defense. He's a good defender. He's not a cone like James Harden, not even close. I mean, he gave Kolek fits when Kolek was trying to bring the ball up when we played them earlier this year. So I don't think they have anybody on that team that is that much of a liability where the Knicks can seek that person out for an easy matchup. I mean, nobody, especially not in their start five, that I can think of. Maybe Champagnie, it might be the closest thing, but nothing as bad as Harden. And Philly was just worn down, injured, and couldn't mess with it. It's gonna be the toughest defense they face. But if they play like they've been playing all playoffs, and if they can sustain that, yeah, they're gonna be tough to mess with. But the Spurs have no fear. They riding high. They beat the champs. That is a confidence boost,
and
like no other.
I hear you, and I think that is their Super Bowl.
They beat the champs.
I think they've already won their title. That's at least what I'm counting on. That was their title. This is not their title. Their time is not now.
Not listening to how they were talking in that media availability.
Wemby was like, I'll die for this. I feel like I was born for this, is what he's saying, which is like terrifying to hear from the guy who's one of the best basketball players in the world already.
Yeah, that's why it's easy. It's easy to like that team. They got the right mentality, the right makeup. All of those guys were either drafted, not even all of those guys were drafted to that team. They play for nobody else. They're close.
Well, Harrison Barnes and Fox.
I don't count Harrison Barnes and Fox, really.
And
I don't really count
Cornette, who they're going to depend on. So the more Cornettes on the court, the better the Knicks are doing.
The core of that team is Wemby, Castle, Harper, Vassell, and Johnson. That's their core. Everybody else is supplemental. When I say that those are Spurs players,
they're going to need Champagnie.
Yeah, Champagnie. I don't know. He's got a brother, too, in the NBA, right? Doesn't his brother play somewhere?
They're both Staten Island. They were on the Nets, and then Champagnie went to the Nets to the Daryl Morey sent him there because he released him so that they could have Mac McClung be in the slam dunk contest, which still irks me to this day because my man is just killing it from three.
Yeah, Champagnie's he's a shooter. He's the only real shooter they got. Vassell is hot and cold, and Castle can't. If Castle's pulling up, I'm happy because he cannot shoot. I like the guy. I like him. I like his game. It reminds me of Gary Payton for some reason.
I don't see why.
He plays pretty good defense. He doesn't steal the ball a ton, but he plays gritty defense. I think he's like 6'4", 6'5", like Gary Payton was.
Yeah, he's 6'5".
And he's edgy, you know what I'm saying?
I can't believe Reed Shepherd was ever drafted over him, which is kind of nuts.
Oh, jeez. People miss, man.
Makes no
People
sense.
miss in the draft.
Yeah, they seem to be missing a lot.
People missing the draft. Reed Shepherd, he's not terrible, but I bet they had that over again, especially the Rockets. Could they use Castle, and what's that other kid's name? One of the twins.
Oscar Thompson or Amen Thompson.
Thompson and Castle backcourt?
Yeah.
Yikes, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Oh.
No, they can't shoot. That's a non-shooting backcourt you could ever wish for.
Yeah.
Nah, those guys,
but if
shots.
One guy can guard you, all 94 feet, and the other guy can get to the hoop, get his buckets.
They could guard and slash and jump out the gym.
Yeah.
If they need to shoot, what you need to do when you want to get to this level, you need to be able to shoot. Another thing Wemby doesn't do. He's too big to play that far from the basket. If we can keep him away from the basket where he's out there trying hezzy and all this other stuff, the Knicks are in good shape. He's got to put on some weight so he can get down there and dominate. It's good that he can do all of that stuff, but he's way too far from the basket during that OKC series, in my opinion. Way too far.
So who do you have winning this, and in how many games?
I have the Knicks winning. You know, it's just Aberhart, I'm a fan. I want the Knicks to win. I haven't even thought about if they don't win. I haven't really thought about it objectively because I want the Knicks to win. I'm afraid of the fact that when a team gets to that point, if they're that good and it's their time, we've seen it with the Warriors, we've seen it with the Cowboys and freaking football. When it's their time, it doesn't matter. It's their time, and they'll show it, and it'll just be like shit. But I'm hoping it's not the case. But I got the Knicks in, I don't want to say 6 because that's cliche because it rhymes. I don't want to say 7 because I do not want to see a game 7. I say Knicks in 5. Knicks stay hot.
Interesting.
And the Knicks stay hot. They take the first 2 games, and then the Spurs get one to make it interesting, and the Knicks finish them. The Knicks finish. No, they would finish them in San Antonio if they did that. They take the first 2, lose one in New York, win one in New York, then they close it on the road.
Well, here's what I got to say. I got the Knicks winning in 6 games. Knicks in 6. Okay?
Knicks in 6.
McBride, Shamet, Miles Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, all rested up, all ready to go. We know we're winning this series when Tyler Kolek gets on the court.
Truly.
The human victory banner. Either him or Mohamed Diawara. If they ever get onto the court, things are either going horribly wrong or very, very well. And I'm going to assume they're going very, very well. Jose Alvarado, all of them. I have us winning this at 6 games because I think the Knicks are only going to be able to win 1 game in San Antonio, and they're just going to have to maintain home court. The fact that they've been able to sweep the other 2 teams leading up to this has just given them a lot of time to rest. That 22-point comeback lets me know that they won't get nervous, and they know how to win and put pressure on the other team, because there was absolutely no reason except that they were just touched by the hand of God in that series. They were able to come back. I remember walking around my house, watching that series, getting upset. Like, this is crazy. And I remember thinking to myself, I should bet on them to win. But I was like, nah, that's nuts. But I will take those 15 points they're giving me. And I put a bunch of money down, and they came back and won the game. And I was like, this is insane. And not only did they win, I think at one point they were like -6, and then they ended up winning the game by like 9 points in overtime and just crushed Cleveland Spirit. They've had home court all the way up until now. So because they're not opening up at home, I think they may affect them going on the road. But the fact that they've had this much rest, they should be okay. They're already in Texas. It's only 1 time zone away as opposed to having going all the way to the West Coast. But unlike in 99, our best big man is in Marcus Camby or Chris Dudley, who apparently is the worst free throw shooter in NBA history. At like 46%, seeing that clip from 99 took me back, and I was like, God, he was awful. He was terrible. And that man played a smooth 9-10 years in the league. And as bad as Mitch is, I think he's shooting 30% from the free throw line. It kind of doesn't matter because they're putting him in the game to get the other teams to get them into the bonus. And then they immediately take him out, so then they can't foul after that to put more pressure on the other team. I don't think the physicalness of the series will affect the Knicks because they're not a team that's trying to mug you up and down the court like OKC. But I think at some point, the pressure of Madison Square Garden is going to get to them. And that's why I believe that the Knicks can win games 3 and 4. It's which game they can steal in San Antonio or beat them in San Antonio. And San Antonio should be worn down by now. And he's playing with a high ankle sprain, De'Aaron Fox. If they don't turn the ball over, it makes it very difficult. But as we've seen before, Stephon Castle had 20 turnovers in 2 or 3 games, which was insane.
20 turnovers. Yeah, he's he's not the best ball handler or facilitator. That's not his thing. Unless he grows into it. But yeah, if the Knicks can get him to be the primary, that's good for us. For sure.
100%.
It's gonna be crazy tomorrow, man. It's gonna be crazy. I agree with all that. I was trying to remember that '99 Knicks team, and I couldn't remember anybody outside of course, Houston, Spree, Larry Johnson, and Camby. I was trying real hard to who was the point guard, and then I looked at some highlights, and I was like, oh, Chris Childs was the point guard. Dang.
Chris Childs and Charlie Ward.
Yeah, Charlie Ward, Chris Childs.
Which is crazy. Which shows you the level of talent that has increased from now until then.
Oh, yeah. Exponentially, brother. Exponentially.
And that's genuinely what gives me hope and the level of experience, because Dylan Harper is a rookie. He's playing great and he's fearless.
Yeah, he's fearless.
If they're going to have to depend on him to be the third guy to make sure that they win this, I think that is going to cause them some problems.
I think that the Knicks are the better team. I guess like most Knicks fans, I'm kind of still in a little bit of shock and disbelief because what they're doing, I've only seen other teams do when my team is just
We've
not
never
been
actually
that
seen,
team.
I don't know if you remember this, but I don't think we've actually ever seen another team lose this few games. They've only lost 2 games so far in the playoffs. The last team to do that was the 86 Celtics, which I don't remember because I was too little to remember that. But it has happened. But the Spurs are the youngest team since 1977 to make the NBA Finals.
Yeah, so
and that team did not win.
We got to enjoy it, man. No matter what happens, we got to enjoy it, you know? I think that's a good thing. What happens? We should talk about the aftermath. What happens if we win? What happens if we lose?
I don't want to focus on the we lose part, but I'll get that out the way. If the Knicks lose in 7 games, let's say, right? They lose in game 7, and that would be heartbreaking. But because they pushed them to a game 7, it's not going to be due to lack of effort. It's not going to due to I do not know how to attribute this, but it'll just have to do with, I guess, it would have to be some kind of injury or something, unfortunately, that I see going. Honestly.
That would be the worst.
Or some random luck where somebody hits like a last-second shot like Atlanta beat us with C.J. McCollum, which you lose 2 games by 1 point, and I was like, damn.
That would be really bad if somebody major goes down, and that's how kind of like what happened to the Pacers last year with Halliburton.
Yeah,
that would hurt all year for it to go down like that. Like if Brunson sprains an ankle or turns something, oh my God,
that'd be tough.
It'd be beyond tough, man. City would be crushed. A whole half of the country would be crushed.
Yeah. But unlike last series where everybody was rooting for the Spurs against the OKC, I think most people are rooting for the Knicks, and it's crazy that they're considered the underdog. They're the biggest market. They're a historic franchise, and this is their opportunity. And if they win, the city's just going to be in pandemonium.
Yeah. I mean, the underdog thing, I get.
There will literally be a baby boom in New York, like the Super Bowl effect. There will be more children born 9 months from now. 9 months from this June. What's 9 months from June? Was that?
I'm bad with that. No idea.
We're halfway through the year, so 6 months takes us there, and then another 3 months. So there'll be a bunch of kids born on St. Patrick's Day. A lot of St. Patrick's Day babies in New York City. Yeah, in the New York metro area. Yeah.
That'd be pretty dope. I mean, I look forward to the banner because I remember in the beginning of this year
double
watching
championship
OKC's banner night,
NBA Cup and like, NBA title. Put them both up there.
That would be pretty cool. They should have hung that banner. They should have hung it.
I think if they win the title, they hang both.
I don't think you can go back and retro hang a banner.
Yes, you can. You can decide at any point to put it up. The Lakers put one up.
Yeah, they did when they won. They put one up. That's why I was like, why can't we put one up? But I mean, I get it. But I just mean the ceremony in the beginning of the year, first game at the Garden, ring and banner ceremony. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, man. Yeah.
The ticket to that home game will be bigger than the ticket to the game. Will be more expensive than the ticket to the game that they clinch on.
I mean, that's possible, right?
It's $4,500 to get in the building right now.
Yeah.
$4,500. You want to sit courtside? I believe Malik looked it up, and it was like $400,000,
That's crazy.
which is a house.
Yeah, I mean that means nobody who's a true basketball enthusiast is going to be at the game.
Well, no, that's a courtside seat.
I mean, but still.
Do normal, average, everyday fans sit courtside? I thought that was reserved for the famous people and the super
No,
rich.
you would look at courtside. You look courtside, and you'll see people you don't recognize there. I don't know how they got those tickets, but it's not like whatever those people are like movie stars, rappers, or whoever. They might
This
be
ain't Cleveland.
rich
We got famous
and
people.
businesswomen.
We got famous fans. This ain't Cleveland, okay? It ain't just going to be Travis
No.
Kelce and Taylor
When
Swift.
you look at the games and you really look courtside, not just in the section they always show with like Ben Stiller and Spike Lee, but look at the whole courtside. You'll see people sitting there. You'll see kids sitting there. So it's probably like somebody's kid, some millionaire's kid, but he's not like a celebrity. Yeah, they got regular people sitting down there watching the games and sitting next to the bench. But my thing is, if that's how much that seat's going to cost, man, I don't know who is paying that just to be in the building for one basketball game. I don't care if it's a championship or not.
That's fair. That is kind of nuts. All right.
That's beyond nuts. That's disposable income on steroids.
Well, the Knicks for the series are plus 155. The Spurs are minus 185. So you got to bet $185 to win 100, or $1.85 to win $1 on the Spurs. On the Knicks, you win 1.5 times your money. So if you're out there for the series, put that bet in now. Unless you think the Knicks are going to lose the first game, and then the odds may go up. But I doubt that one game will affect the odds that much. The Knicks are getting 4.5 points for game one. And I think the over-under is 212, which is kind of, I guess, a good set for the line, because I don't think most of the games have been going over that. And with two really good defensive teams like this, it's unlikely to break that, honestly, unless somebody just goes on a crazy 20-0 run. But both of these teams have done it in the playoffs until this point. But before we get out of here and get off this pod, LaVon, how do you feel about Myles Garrett going to the Rams? Is it a wrap for the NFC?
No, I think the Rams.
Really?
The Rams bought their one Super Bowl, and they've been trying to buy one ever since.
I think they just bought another one.
Yeah, it's easy to think that in the offseason. We haven't played a game, but I mean, if they would have lined up against Seattle right now, would you really take them over the Seahawks?
Yes, I would.
Just because they got one guy?
He had 24 sacks last year.
Yeah, that's great.
During the season last year, he had 11 sacks in 3 games.
Yeah,
I remember mentioning that when he was playing. He had more sacks than an entire other team.
How
that
much
he was playing.
winning has the Cleveland Browns done since they had Myles Garrett?
Football
is a team
It wasn't
sport.
his fault, but they made the playoffs.
But that's not.
He's been in the playoffs.
Point is,
that's how good
he was.
me
about one man.
He got them to the playoffs.
You asked me about one man, and then I give you an answer, and you go back with the same shit you hear on ESPN every day.
They won one playoff game.
He's one dude.
They've won one playoff game.
That does not make the Rams better than Seattle. It still doesn't. It does not.
Okay.
It does not.
All right.
They didn't get him and add him to anything. They moved a younger player who's not as good as Garrett.
Correct.
But he was, what was he, Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Yes.
Jeff Hurst is no slouch.
He's not.
So they moved him.
That's why you make
Garrett
that deal for Cleveland.
You asked me a question.
Yeah.
The NFC's not cooked because the Rams got Myles Garrett. I don't see it. I don't think they're better than Seattle.
So you don't even think that the Rams will win their division?
I think they're in the division. I think they made that move because they know they're not better than Seattle. That's why I think they did it. And I think they're still not better than Seattle. We haven't even started we don't even know what the teams are fully going to look like yet. We still got to go through training camp.
True.
The Rams, their best players are all over 30, except Puka.
Yeah.
Doesn't Puka have legal troubles? Didn't he bite somebody?
He's in rehab right now, but
There you go.
I think he may play.
I mean, Devontae Adams, Matthew Stafford, Myles Garrett. That whole team is over 30. Football is still,
Myles Garrett is exactly
game.
30 years old.
He's over 30. If he's exactly 30, he's over 30.
No, he's 96.
He's 30 in some days. He's over 30. No, I think the Rams made a splash. But do I think they're the best team in the NFC? I'm not going to disrespect the champs like that.
Wow.
I'm not going to do it. They're the
you have
champs
that
for a
much
reason.
faith in the Seattle Seahawks.
Seahawks, I mean, what else could you got to give them their respect. What they did and how they did it. Collectively, I think their defense is better than the Rams' defense. And offensively, they have the offensive player of the year on their team.
They do.
They got
Jackson
him.
Smith-Njigba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's young, and they got a rejuvenated Sam Darnold, whose trajectory is pointing up, and he's younger than Stafford. So yeah, I would still take the Rams. I mean, I would still take the Seahawks over the Rams. And we haven't even talked about the rest of the NFC and how good that the rest of the NFC might be, and who might make a jump and who might not.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, Myles Garrett is good. He's a good dude. Is he Reggie White? Maybe. We'll see. Can he do Reggie White? What Reggie White did for the Green Bay Packers?
He's a little bit closer to Bruce Smith, but I don't know how much of a difference that makes.
It's a splash move. They should definitely be in the mix for the playoffs.
He's the two-time defensive player of the year, and you think it's just that simple, that he doesn't make that much of a difference.
He makes a difference, but they were already a playoff team. Does that make them a Super Bowl contender? They were already that as well. They're trying to specifically get past one team in their division. So what you got to say is, did that move make them better than the Seahawks? And I say no.
Well,
it did not.
I don't know if it made them better. In my mind, it made them even.
Okay.
Getting him makes them even. Because they've added Les Snead and they've added other people on the. No, I'm sorry. Les Snead is their. They've added. He's the GM. They've added more people on the defensive backfield, which is why they were able to keep up with Philly.
They got McDuffie from.
That's what it is. Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs. So,
they got McDuffie from the Chiefs, but they had him last year when they lost.
Yeah, but they were really good last year, and they almost lost. They lost. They almost lost to the Bears on a miracle throw. You know what I mean? Like, it took a lot. We had to get them to overtime, and then they barely got by us. And then they lost to Seattle in the NFC Championship game. But they did lose, yes.
Yeah, they lost.
Unlike the Patriots, who got A.J. Brown, but that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That move. I can't believe that that's been rumored to have been happening for like 8 months. And now it finally goes through.
Secret in the NFL. Diana Rossini broke that before she got canceled, pretty much.
You know, I still don't think that Mike Vrabel's going to end the season as the Patriots head coach, but it all depends on
why not?
Well, you know how you said, like, people always say distractions.
Yes, sir.
A team is only, the media only calls it a distraction if the team's winning, if the team's losing. So if you start 1-4, then it's a distraction. If you start 4-1, they've moved past it.
Yeah.
So it really just matters how well the team starts the season.
You ain't lying.
So that will be the judge of whether or not they win however the first 5 games of the season go. Will be how that team is judged. I don't think the owner wants to fire him, considering his own personal history with those issues. But it appears TMZ kept it going for most of the spring. So much so that it's like they're still reporting on this. They're still reporting on this. So I don't know.
Well,
but the fact that he wanted out of Philly to go to New England is kind of wild to me, because I don't think it makes New England a lock to go back to the Super Bowl, and I think they got lucky to get there to begin with, because their offensive line was kind of overmatched when they got there. And the only reason why they beat the Texans is because the Texans had 5 interceptions.
DJ Stroud was terrible.
Yes. We'll see if he can improve, but we can leave that till August and September to talk about that before we finish with the NBA Finals. That's it for us. Do you got any shout-outs before we get out of here?
Just the Knicks, man. To shout out anybody else at this point on the eve of the finals is crazy. Shout out the Knicks. And rest up, fellas. Tomorrow's big. Hope it lives up to all the hype and everything we thought it would be for these last... How many years has it been since the last time? I don't know.
27 years.
27 years. Teams have waited longer just because, New York sports fans, we feel like that's a long time. But there's some teams that have waited way longer than that. But if the Knicks can pull this off, I've seen every last one of my sports teams win a championship. So I'm rooting for them.
That'd be pretty amazing. Same. Yeah.
Every last one. One.
Shout out to the Knicks, and especially shout out to Landry Shamet, who hit 91% of his 3-point attempts in the Cleveland series in the Eastern Conference Finals. That is insane. And if my man can continue to shoot at that clip, or even just shoot at 60 or 70%, I think he can carry us home. That Shaman revenge game against Philly was crazy because he was on that team and they cut him. And that's how he ended up on the Knicks. Wichita State's own. Kansas's own. Landry Shamet.
Landry Shamet was on fire. He was big in both series, man.
On that note,
Donovan. Yep.
We are out.
We out of here.
Peace.
Peace, everybody.